Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new camp build. So today we're going to build a kind of Blue Ridge Caravan outpost, as it's somewhat thematically appropriate for the summer, and because, well, there's a couple of spots that I feel like are missing them. Okay, so yeah, we're kind of between interesting build items on the Atomic Shop at the moment, so I thought there's a few spots on the map where I feel like, given the recent updates and stuff, Blue Ridge ought to have outposts, but they don't. Places they'd want to trade, stuff like that. So the one I've gone for today is up here at Foundation. So we're just down the road from the front gate here, so you can see. And this spot, well, I've built sort of close to here before. I'm a little bit further back from the road this time, as there's a nice kind of dip in the ground, which makes for an interesting kind of nice contained location to build. So yeah. Fairly high traffic area, but it would make sense near Foundation for Blue Ridge to have an outpost, as, well, it's a really good set of people for them to be trading with, so here we go. We have a fairly simple-ish kind of combination of techniques I've used a lot of times come together to make a kind of secure outpost for... In my head, this is kind of for a couple that are part of Blue Ridge Caravan. Maybe one of them's doing the travelling and the other one stays back and does the trading, that sort of thing. Keeps them, one keeps them stocked and the other stays there and does the selling. But yeah, this kind of makes sense to have something like this near Foundation, as obviously this would be one of the major groups they'd want to trade with. So with the build here, we've got a nice bit of security, decent junk fence, because, well, you know, we love them. And you do get a bit of trouble here, occasional Blood Eagle coming up the road, and there's Mirelurks not far away as well. Coming through the sort of covered bridge here, and this makes for pretty good entrances. It's basically the same sort of thing as the bridge next to the Wayward, only considerably smaller. But yeah, it makes really good entranceways, and I suppose it makes probably an okay bridge as well, but I haven't had cause to actually use it for that yet. And here we go. So we've basically got a load of crops, kind of a, not exactly a farm vibe out here, but somewhere to, you know, keep the Brahmin. We've got a little pen there for them. And somewhere to, you know, grow some food for them, that sort of thing. Obviously, realistically, nowhere near enough, but still. And here in one of my favourite prefabs, the trailer here, is where I've gone for my shop and also a crafting area. So, over here on the right is the shop, and this trailer, I really, really love going kind of crazy with the wall decoration. Something about the dirty, beaten up look of it that really piling stuff onto the walls really works with. So, kind of done that here again. For the little counter here, this is the new kitchen set, which is maybe a little on the clean side, and I did want to kind of cover it in more stuff, but it's a bit awkward to stick signs and wall decorations on. But what I did here was to rotate it so that the drawers and the front surfaces are actually facing inward, so it's just a plain counter, and then push three of them together for basically a shop counter, which I think has worked quite nicely. Now I've dressed it up as well. Interestingly, I know I mentioned this last week, that it didn't seem to have snapping on these pieces. Turns out they do have snapping. Not sure if I was just being daft and forgot to toggle the snapping back on, or if maybe there was a hotfix. I think I was probably being daft, if I'm honest, but yeah, those things do actually snap together, as it turns out, I discovered today. Got my crafting area down this end. As you know, when I do sort of thematic builds, I do like to have them function well as a player camp as well, so crafting benches are a must, really. For headcanon, I suppose maybe they need to repair some of the stuff they bring up, or they provide repair services or something like that to the people of Foundation. Or maybe they craft some things which they sell as well, who knows, but I'm sure we can find an excuse for having all those workbenches in a trading outpost. I'll close the door there. For some reason the sound is way out of sync on that door. Weird. And head down towards the backside. So this side's all fenced off as well. I mentioned the Mirelurks earlier, and it's just on the other side of this little stream here that they tend to spawn, so having a decent bit of defence here for that is not a bad idea. But I did want a back gate here because there's kind of a natural path through this area that comes down from the road, and having the gate sort of lead down to the water there kind of makes sense. I haven't actually got a shower in here, so I guess they're washing in the stream or something. Although we do have the purified water producing well there. So a little house over here. I figured our caravaneers are going to need somewhere to stay. Tiny little place like this doesn't leave a lot of room, but you know, you make the best of it when you're living in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, I guess. But if it's a couple, there's enough space. Quite a steep slope on this side of the spot though, so I had to work with kind of tiers on terms of that front porch and stairs and stuff. But little kitchen down the end here, and I use the pots and pans, which are probably the nicest thing on the Atomic Shop this week. I'm really glad about having those. They're a nice little addition for kitchens. And a few other bits and pieces as well to dress that up. Little place to chill. Should probably put a second chair in here in hindsight, given that I'm kind of figuring it's a couple staying here, but I don't know, maybe one of them sits on the bed or something, I don't know. Like I say, you make the best in the situation. But I do like these little sort of 2x1 houses like this. They're really compact, and you can squeeze, living space-wise, the essentials in there. They're absolute must-haves, and make it reasonably cosy if you want to. I mean, there's no bathroom or anything, but this is what it is. It makes for a nice little compact housing, and yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of having to have the foundations up so high, but sort of cuff them up a little bit and it works okay. You can sort of see I had quite a lot of open space left once I'd built this place up, just sort of lay the land and stuff. So I decided to put a load of crops in, as I'd fill it up, and it makes sense with the Brahman there, and it just kind of, it fills the space a little bit more. I would often use things like trailers, stuff like that, but with the ground being so uneven, it doesn't work quite so well. You end up with a lot of floating. There we go, short and sweet, using quite a few techniques I've used before, but coming together into a nice little compact, fortified Blue Ridge caravan kind of outpost near Foundation. So there we go, and fully function, of course, as a player camp too. So I do hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, please do consider dropping subs and likes. I very much appreciate you. Hit the notification bell as well, always helps out. If you get a chance, join us for the Starfield content that we are doing at the moment as well. I'm having a lot of fun streaming that game. I'd love to have you join us for that one, and of course still playing Fallout as well. And yeah, loads of tutorials and upcoming outpost builds on Starfield as well, so I'd love to have you join us for those. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.